Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome in. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Hello, everybody. Hello from New Orleans. It's like we swapped places, Bill, in the last week.
You know, I mean, and I really enjoyed New. I know you're gonna have a great time. I enjoyed New Orleans. You know, a lot of people, and it's not New Orleans. What are you, a Yankee? It's New Orleans.
New Orleans.
No. So, anywho. I really enjoyed it. It was between like South Beach and Bourbon Street. I mean, I enjoyed the day before cruise out of those two ports. And that was my first time out of New Orleans.
Oh, I love it. It's like it's honestly like a third home for me. It is the cruise port that I have cruised out of the most, hands down. Keone actually asked me before this live. He's like, "How many times have you been to New Orleans?" And this is, I think, just about my 12th time in New Orleans, so it's like a third home for me.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a blast. I went down there 2 days, like the Bourbon Street 2 days, and I had a blast. See, again, and people they met me and they didn't believe me that I was an introvert. I'm kind of an introvert, but again, I was having a lot of fun, and then watching people. I think I just saw Moonlight Adventure in here. Josh, oh my goodness, now he's not an introvert. That's all I can say. He's not an introvert.
From those vlogs, definitely not. And I will say one thing about New Orleans, and one thing that I really like, even if you're an introvert, New Orleans has a way to pull that introvert out of you, and even make some of the most introverts a little extrovert a little bit, you know, because of the Southern hospitality, how nice everybody is. I mean, even the girl at the front desk that checked me in today, I mean, the warmest, nicest smile. How y'all guys doing today? Where'd you guys come from? I mean, it's just so different down here. So I love it.
It was a great time. I'm having for some reason, my screen is lagging, but I'm watching it on my phone too. So I see it's not lagging, but just so you know, if I feel like I'm being delayed or something like that, you'll know why.
I thought it was the hotel's Wi-Fi, so we could blame it on the hotel's Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. That's what we're going to do. We'll do that. Even though I know we didn't come here today to talk about New Orleans, but like, since you're down there and it was such a great time, tomorrow on Banter with Bill at 5 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be talking about my experiences down on Bourbon Street and New Orleans in general, because I really had a good time. And I've been watching a few lives where people are talking about the booze cruise, and I mean most people had a great time. Not everybody, but most people had a great time, and I'm one of them. Again, it may not seem like I had a great time to people that were there. Like, hey, Bill, we didn't see you. We missed you. I had a great time.
Well, everybody cruises different. And I mean, we're going to talk about the difference between your cruise that you just took out of New Orleans and my decision that I've made now, because the two cruises that we just took, even though they're both out of New Orleans, they're a little bit different in duration. And that could bring a lot of different factors into the 7-day cruise, a 14-day cruise, or even the decision I just made to fly and do a 4-day cruise. So we're going to talk about if a 4-day cruise is a bad decision today. So that's what we're going to talk about. Yeah.
And I have a different opinion now than I did when I was working and had family. I mean, I had slightly different opinion now. But again, we're going to get into that. Let me run down the chat real quick.
Let's say hi to
so far behind the chat already. So, and first up, we have Clock Family Adventures. Welcome in, Mike. Appreciate you being here. Eddie Lugo, welcome in. Thanks for being here.
Hello,
Shady
Eddie.
Brady. Hello to everybody.
Uncle Brady.
Journeys with June and Brady. Welcome in. Welcome in. Embarkation Nation. Thanks for stopping in. Cruise Nuts.
Jennifer.
Welcome in, Cruise Nuts. Cruise Nuts. That was a nice gesture you did with Z. It was really nice of you. For those of you who don't know, Cruise Nuts hooked Z up.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
I am you can go to probably Z's channel to find out. I'm not going to spoil the surprise. I'll let Z do it, or if Cruise Nuts wants to put it in here, he can put it in here.
For sure.
Betty is here and accounted for. Thank you for being here. Embarkation Nation. Keone, welcome in, Keone.
What's up?
Our first time cruiser.
You couldn't sneak by without saying hello now.
No, of course not. I'm a special guest myself.
There you go. Scott McNeil, a party animal. Welcome in, Scott. Appreciate you being here. Majorie, thanks for coming in. Thank you for being here. Antoinette at Fun, welcome in. Destination Fun, hello. And keep going down. Make sure I didn't miss anybody.
Hello, Sherry.
People are saying hi. The Bud Files, thanks for being here.
Hello, the Bud Files.
Everybody's saying hi. Catch up.
I have no clicking abilities. I can't even click anything if I want to do.
I know. Ha. I'm in control this week, Scott. The Moonlight Adventures. Josh, welcome in. Bill was our hero on Bourbon Street. No. I was just there watching everybody. I kept everybody safe. Not me.
See, everybody feels safe around you, Bill.
See? They just don't know better. Traveling Fools, welcome in.
Yo, Traveling Fools.
Destination Fun says, please hit that like button. Please do. If you hit the like we're both sharing it out on Controversial Cruising and myself. So if you make it over to both channels and hit the like buttons and drop a line or two, we'd appreciate it. And man, a lot of people here. Mustard Drill, Scott, welcome in. Thanks for being here, my friend. I get to meet the Mustard Drill coming up shortly. I get to meet him not this Sunday, coming up the following Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's right, you do.
Maravilla. It'd be time to go back out. I'm not even over this one yet. Rooted in Essential Oils, Famous, welcome in. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Famous, how are you?
Lisa Merca, hey, Cruising Checks, welcome in. They're on Facebook checking in on us. Here's my buddy from the cruise, Mona. Welcome in, Mona.
Hey, Mona.
You wouldn't think it. She's a party animal too. She was hanging like wet clothes.
Oh, I bet.
DJ's family and friends, travels and more. Welcome in, welcome in.
Hey, DJ.
Everybody's saying hi, but man, I think I'm getting close to the end. Get close.
Close to the end.
DJ's family and friends, travel and more. Yeah, a few friends of my mom's went to New Orleans. It was a fun time. Again, I didn't get much outside the French Quarter and that area, so I can't tell you a whole lot about it. Rayleigh, Creative Travels, welcome in, welcome in. He says 3 or 4 day cruises all matter if you have to fly and your distance.
Yep, we're going to talk.
So it does. Sure. It really does. 3 or 4 day cruise is worth it if you do a back to back or a side to side. I never did like a side to side. I did a side to side one time. So they kicked me off the ship at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't board the ship till 11. So I'm grabbing my luggage, walking out to the next ship, and we couldn't even get into the terminal. By the time I got down there, we weren't even getting to the terminal. So I'm sitting out there with my luggage. I didn't like it. I would rather do a back to back. But again, if I had no choice, I would do it.
Side by side could be a little risky.
Scotty Too Hottie, welcome in, welcome in.
What's up, Scotty Too Hottie? We have 3 Scots in here now, I think. 4, actually.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a Scott overload.
That's a Scott. All right,
that's too many. We're not even compliant anymore. That's an overload.
Over compliance.
Shady Brady, nothing wrong with a 4-day, but I would want it in Florida and tack on Margaritaville at sea before or after. Yep. Will G, welcome in.
Hey, Will G. Me and Brady and Aunt June were just talking about that, so we may be sending you a few messages, Bill, in the next couple days, trying to talk you into tack on Margaritaville at sea. So
I would look into it. I really would. There's I have so many cruises coming up. I have so many cruises coming up, and it's like, my goodness, I got to pay off some of these cruises.
Oh, they'll sneak up on you.
Terrence Osby, my best friend, welcome back. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate you stopping in.
Hey, Terry, how are you?
Dang, you had low standards if he was your hero. Wow. Wow, Blaine. I must have missed Cruise Addicts. Carnival Cruise Addicts, welcome in. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Welcome in, welcome in.
Hello, hello.
And if you asked a question and I missed it, just type it in with some question marks. And as I go back, I'll try to catch up with it. Cruise Vet, welcome in, Cruise Vet. I appreciate your show today. I don't know what it is, Cruise Vet. I mean, you're putting on a good show. I like watching your shows and your take on these different topics. I really do like it. SCT Adventures, Greg and Felicia, welcome in.
Hello, SCT. Great. And I agree, Cruise Vet.
The people that put on this group cruise did an outstanding job. I mean, this is truly my first group cruise, but from what I saw from other group cruises and things like that, this went off without a hitch for the most part. Whatever they said they want to do, they had a little flyer here. They scheduled. You knew exactly where to be and if you wanted to be involved. They really did such a great job. I'm very impressed with what they did.
It shows the amount of effort the head of that group really took and the initiative that, all of them took to have all of you guys enjoy this cruise so much, and it was really just, 4 or 5 people putting that much care and love and effort into it to make sure everyone had a good time.
It took people to participate, but the effort that they had, it's there for you if you wanted to. Mm-hmm. And it went off without a hitch from my end. Now from their end, maybe it was a different story, but from my end, it was just as smooth as could be. Everybody's saying hello. I'm trying to get down to the end, but
Nancy B. Hello, Nancy.
Nancy B. If I didn't say hello, Nancy B. Welcome in. I appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. Keisha H is in the house. Welcome in.
Keisha, how we doing? Happy Wednesday. Yeah, already Wednesday.
Carmen for the win. Carmen, welcome in. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here.
Got a lot of people here today for.
Oh no, Scott
Oh.
McNeil got the cruise crud. Oh no.
Hope you get better and feel better soon, Scott. Hope it's not too bad, cruise crud.
Cruise vet. I've done a couple of 4-day cruises, one with Carnival and one with Royal. I like the one that I did with Royal because it had 2 port visits. If I did it again, I want to do a back-to-back though.
Yep.
And I am going to get down here to the bottom. Everybody saying hello. Scrolls Nuts, welcome in. Welcome in. Scratch and Pete, thanks for coming in.
The Radiance does 4 days?
The who?
Interesting. The because the January on the Radiance, isn't that the ship that you're doing a 14-day on?
Yes. No. Yeah. The old Victory. Yeah, they do it off the West Coast. Lovey, whoops, hold on, I missed it.
4 days.
Lovey's Fat Life, welcome in. Appreciate you being here.
Oh, hey, Lovey. Hope you are feeling better too, my friend.
The Radiance, they actually do those 4 and 5 day cruises probably. But they do every now and then. They do like a 14-day to Hawaii, and that's going to be the group cruise that I'm going to do.
Hey, Randy,
and I think I'm at the bottom. Yay! I'm at the bottom.
Ow! At the bottom. Randy, send me that info too. If I can get the time off, maybe I'll hop on that cruise. You know, I'm on the West Coast.
I appreciate it. My daughter and I, we're going. I said, you know what? I had so much fun on this cruise. It's like I really want to try. I really want to try that group cruise and see who I can get to go on it.
Yeah.
Lovely Fat Life. Chest X-rays was negative today.
5
COVID tests, all negative. Just cruise crud. A lot of that is going around.
Yes, definitely hope you are feeling better.
And Scrolls Nest says I'm checking on the Radiance. Yeah, it's been a few people, and again, when people. I did more hugging on this cruise, and again, I know we're gonna get on subject shortly, but I did more hugging on this cruise because I don't know. It just when you're meeting all these people that you follow and you watch on YouTube all the time, you wind up giving hugs and more. I gave more hugs than dabs, and I can see how it could happen, but it was good. It was so nice to meet everybody.
I bet, and everybody found out Bill is a hugger, so I mean that was.
See, don't throw that out there. Don't throw that out there. Now on, I met him. Now we can do fist bumps. We can do fist bumps.
First meet, you get a hug, and then after that, it's fist bumps.
Those of you just coming in, don't forget to hit the like button, and also don't forget to hit the poll question. Do you like 3 or 4 day cruises? Yes, I love the short getaway. No, they're not worth it. And 3, a cruise is a cruise. Give it to me.
I like it. I like that. That would be the last one for me. I can't participate because I can't get into the chat, but the last one, 3 would be for me. But let's talk about, Bill, what stands out for 4-day cruises. Have you ever taken a 4-day cruise? Let's start with that question.
I've taken 3 and 4 day cruises.
Okay.
And mostly this was what I was talking about when I first started. First started this conversation, we were talking about 3 and 4 day cruises. Well, at one point I was working all the time, and when I had like a 3-day weekend, a 4-day weekend, let's go. Hey, family, let's all go on a cruise, and we went. So I did 3 and 4 day cruises. I'm one of them that don't mind the 3 and 4 day cruises because it's the only thing I could do at the time. Maybe do 1 7-day a year or something like that, but I can only do a 3 or 4 day cruise to get away, and I really enjoyed them. Yes, it was more expensive to do it because you had to fly in. After I retired and started working for the airlines, got a cheaper airfare. So now 3 and 4 day cruises don't mean anything to me because I can fly in for cheap and fly back for cheap. So it doesn't really matter now. But even before then, I did 3 or 4 day cruises and I loved them.
Right. And I mean, so a 3 and 4 day cruise, just as far as the mindset goes, I mean, when you're getting on that ship, I mean, everybody that's getting on that ship pretty much knows as soon as they step on, time is against them, right? You feel like you're kind of racing to the clock for a 3-day, racing to the clock for a 4-day, whether your ship is humongous or whether it's a a decent sized ship like the Valor, you feel like it's party, party, party as soon as you get on, because as soon as you get on, 4 days is going to go like this and you're going to be off. So 3 and 4 day cruises, typically, I've been on 2 besides this one, typically bring a more party atmosphere, right? It's going to be a lot of people that are ready to, whether they drink or not, they're just ready to party, right? The nightclub is going to be pretty busy. The bars are going to be pretty busy, right? Drinks are going to be mostly flowing and people are going to be having a lot of fun because, again, you feel like you're on a race, on a race for time for the most part. Do you agree?
And you are. I mean, again, but again, I don't mind the party crowd. So for me, it doesn't bother me. People coming into the party.
Me.
You know, when I had my kids with me, we just, you know, when did family things. We weren't hanging out at the casino and the bars and the nightclub. But again, so I didn't really notice it. I even then I didn't see any fights back then when I was taking the 3 and 4 day cruises. That's why, like Margaritaville. See, Margaritaville would be right up my alley. A couple of day cruise. You could give me a cruise to nowhere. I would love it. But again, it is a cruise is what you make it.
It really is. It really is. And now, I mean, my last 4 day, I believe it was only 2 years ago. So not that far back, but I feel also too now 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, I feel like on a 3 and a 4 day cruise, you're going to typically see less families on cruises like that because the families are going to want to save up for a 7 day cruise or an 8 day cruise or a 10 day cruise or a Journeys cruise like you're interested in now and taking a lot of those 14 day cruises. That's where you're going to see a lot of these families because, I mean, saving up for a 4 day cruise for a family of 4, it goes like this, you know, rather than saving up for that 5 or even a 7 day.
But even then, I mean, a lot of people, all they can afford even after saving up is 3 or 4 day cruise. So you saw families and
just less of them.
I mean, again, I think there's enough room on, whatever size ship you're on that everybody can enjoy themselves. And, one of the things that I really value is just a lot of time, like with the family and if you can only do 3 or 4 days, like I could only do 3 or 4 days, I was happy. I mean, we never noticed it. And I don't mind sea days. So a lot of times, you're a 3-4 day cruise, you only have one port, Nassau. And that was it. But again, I enjoyed it.
Yes. And I mean, the other thing that I was going to kind of say too, 4 day and 3 day cruises attract a lot of first time cruisers and a lot of new cruisers, right? Because a new time cruiser, and Keone is a perfect example, right? Thought to himself, and I asked him this, did you kind of say yes because it was a 4 day? And he said, kind of. I mean, I wanted a cruise, but I did kind of say yes because it was a 4 day because I felt if something went wrong or if I felt like I didn't want to be on the ship, it's only 4 days. I hadn't made a big commitment. Whereas if I was on for 10 days and day 2, I'm like, oh, I think I need to get off, or this isn't for me. Now you're stuck on there for 8 more days, so it will attract a lot of first time cruisers. You're going to see a lot of those red cards flying around Carnival if you're cruising Carnival, especially for 3 or 4 day cruises. So.
Yeah. And it happens. But I really do. Somebody who's a first time cruiser, a 3 or 4 day cruise, it gets your feet wet. It lets you know, do you have motion sickness? Does it bother you to be so far out on the water that you can't see land? Which I didn't know that was a problem. But for some people, if they can't see land, they start to freak out.
Yes.
I'm claustrophobic, but being stuck on a ship or in an interior room on a ship doesn't bother me. I guess because I know I can open the door at any time and see out and things like that. But for some people, they can't handle it.
Right.
And as you said, if you get stuck for 7 days, I mean, that could be a miserable 7 days. If 2 days in, it's like, I don't want to be here.
Correct. Exactly. So 100% more of a first time cruiser atmosphere you know, because of that. And I understood that too as well. And this is another reason why I also invited Keone on this cruise, because it is a 4-day. And now a lot of my 3 and 4 days, besides the one that I went on with Uncle Brady, which was the Margaritaville at Sea. But besides that, if I'm going to go on a 3 or 4 day cruise now, it is going to be definitely with intention. It's going to be either I'm bringing a first time cruiser with me, or it's going to be somebody that, either my parents can only get away for a little while. It's going to be a very intentional cruise. I'm not just going to go out to do a 4-day cruise, by myself and fly halfway across the country. So this in particular, taking a first-time cruiser, I mean, this is like, I could do this blindfolded now. I mean, I've been to New Orleans 12 times. I've been to Cozumel, 18 something some odd times. So this is going to be a great experience for not only myself to be able to share this with Keone, but also share the gift of cruising, right? The whole reason why most of us are here to, show more people.
And like a 3 and 4 day cruise, you don't get overwhelmed.
Right.
My first cruise, let's say, was 7 days, maybe 4 or 5 ports. I literally got overwhelmed with all the entertainment and all the activities on the ship, and then doing these ports. I mean, I was literally staying up to 3 o'clock in the morning in the casino and getting up at 7 o'clock to get off the ship, and it nearly killed me. With a 3 or 4 day cruise, you have the one port, usually like one port.
Yeah.
And you can make your plans for that one port and not be overwhelmed.
Yes.
And I think that means a lot, especially for a first time cruiser. For a family, you're not overwhelmed trying to do too much, and just relax, spend a couple of days at sea. Hey, Nassau, let's go swim with the dolphins and then come back. You're not overwhelmed.
I 110% agree. This is going to be a great cruise for him to, figure out what he kind of likes as far as cruising, sea days versus port days. I mean, there is going to be only one port, but the other great part about a 3 or 4 day with only that one port that's so close, I already knew this, Keone didn't, but the boat is going to go a lot slower than it actually can, because we have a lot of time to get from New Orleans to Cozumel, a lot more time than we actually have. So the boat is going to go super slow. For anybody that may be worried about motion sickness or getting seasick or the rocking, or there's going to be little to none, because the boat's going
right
like this, literally, and crawling, and same way back, and that's another reason why I had picked this. Originally, this was a group cruise, but then it just became I'm taking a first-time cruiser with me. But that's why I had chosen this itinerary in particular, because it's going to be such a nice, easy ride to Cozumel, nice, easy ride back. And I mean, knock on wood, but there is no tropical storms within 7 days. So I think we're in the clear, hopefully.
Well, and I mean, we had a problem with ours where we missed a port because of weather. We had a tender port, Grand Cayman, so we wound up missing a port. Missing a port doesn't bother me, but there were some people that actually wanted to go visit Grand Cayman. They hadn't been before and wanted to go, so I felt bad for them. I'm gonna catch up with the chat real quick. Betty says a 4 day would be worth it if you work or you got tons of money. Just the opposite, Betty. The 3 or 4 day cruises are cheaper. I mean, you're cheaper. You're not out there as much, but again, they're perfect for work.
Yep. It's really the demand the other way, because there's a lot more people now looking into 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 day cruises. So now obviously the demand and the want for the 3 and 4 day cruises, not saying that it's not there, but it's a lot less. So that's why they're able to offer it. I got a great deal on this 4 day cruise. It was, almost a little over $400 for each of us. Crazy.
And that's crazy, because when you told me about it, I looked it up. It was like it was over $600 per person. Me being a solo cruise, I would have to pay that twice. And it was like, man, I wish I would have got in when you got in. I'm going to stop real quick. Hey, to everybody out there that's feeling ill, there's Mike Clark is talking about going to urgent care tomorrow. Please feel better. Take care of yourself.
Definitely feel better.
Lovey's Fat Life. So everybody out there, Scott Grinnell, take care. Just know we're thinking about you.
Absolutely.
Clock Family Adventures. We have a 9-hour drive to Tennessee tomorrow, so that should be for. Whoa, boy, you gonna do that? You said you were going to urgent care tomorrow. You want to go to urgent care then drive?
Oof,
That's a tough one.
that is a tough one.
Keisha says my first cruise was a 4-day, so not enough. Even a 5-day doesn't feel like enough for me.
Good feedback. That's good.
So I mean, some people I can understand it, you know, especially if you spend money to get to wherever you're going. I can understand that.
I would want
My
more
4-day
than-
was driving distance, so that makes it easier.
Yes, a lot easier. A lot easier. You know, and if you have a 3-day weekend or a 4-day weekend or something like that, or a long weekend, and you're within driving distance, again, situational and intentional makes sense. 110%.
Lovey says they did a 4-day to Bimini,
Right.
and Bimini is like a perfect little island. It's not oversaturated with commercialism, and it's a perfect little island. Nice little beach, friendly people. I love Bimini.
I love Bimini too. I would rent a golf cart every time.
Yeah, yeah. Scott McNeil. That's me. 4 times I haven't made it to Grand Cayman. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know what it is. I know during rough weather because of the tenders, you can't get off. Together we travel. Welcome in.
Hello, together we travel.
Lovey, yes. The only time I would buy a drink package would be like a 3-day cruise. That would be probably the only time, because I don't drink enough to justify $500 and $600 for a 7-day cruise for the drink package. But I could see doing it on a 3-day cruise.
We actually just did that before we got on this live, so we
must be nice. Mike and Rihanna, welcome in. Will G, 3 and 4-day cruises aren't that cheap out of Galveston.
Galveston's a hot port, though. Galveston's a hot port right now, especially with the Jubilee coming there. I know she's not doing 3 and 4 days, but
right,
Galveston's a hot port right now. Galveston and New Orleans both, honestly, are pretty hot ports right now.
I just don't like it because you're kind of fixed on certain ports, unless you're going to do like a 10-day cruise, and it's just like if you cruise 3 or 4 times from there, it's like different ships, same ports. So Najuma Brown, welcome in. Thanks for being here, my friend.
Hello, Najuma.
Will G, Florida has better 3 and 4-day prices, but I have to fly, so it evens out. Yeah, and that makes sense. Take care of yourself, Clock Family. Lisa, our first was 7-day, and as far as we have to drive, we pretty much don't want to do less than 7.
7, yeah.
10 is great. Still wondering why and it's sticking up. Wondering why we're doing 31 days, but anything to check. 31 days, that's not enough. I mean, my goodness, that's a good cruise right there.
There's a real journey for you there, Bill. That's a journey plus.
The thing that amazes me is, and I know we're getting a little off the subject here, but the thing that amazes me, 31 days and people buy the booze package. Ooh. So that's $70 a day for 31 days. That's crazy.
Put it on my card.
Put it on my card. So, Globies Travels, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Late getting on. You're never late. You're always on time. Hopefully, the arrival of more ships will bring down the prices. It's a glut. It's a glut of people that want to cruise now, and until that happens, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah,
I don't see prices coming down anytime soon. Matter of fact, they're inching up because of they're charging more for gratuity. They're charging more for the meals. They're just charging a little bit more for everything, and it just makes it.
And we're starting to see that, like when we used to have last minute cruise deals and we used to wait and get better deals. Now, the longer you wait, like you just saw on this cruise, the higher the price is going,
That's what it was with my my group cruise to Hawaii. I'm looking at it today, getting ready to get it all set up and go ahead and hit the final button to set it up. And there's no balconies. Carnival won't let us book or reserve balcony rooms now because they're nearly sold out already. And this is for February 9th, 2025.
Wow.
So I got to call, and this is what I'm looking into. I got to call into Carnival to see, hey, if I have people that want balconies, can I still get balconies? Even though I can't reserve them now, but if they call in, can I still have them part of the group and get a balcony? I haven't even thought about a suite yet, but a balcony. And it's like, my goodness. But that's how 2025, 14 days on the Carnival Radiance. We're talking the Carnival Victory, people.
Literally.
And it's selling out that fast.
Mm-hmm. Cruises in general, it's just, the cruise demand now, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, 6-day, 7-day, 14, 31. People are cruising it, looking it up, researching it, and putting down deposits more than ever.
I mean, it's getting crazy, and that's why we were talking. I'm in a little chat group with some of the people that are in this chat, and just how there's so many of us now, and we all seem to have a group cruise. At the prices that they're going now, we can't afford to go on everybody's group cruise because, and for me, I like longer cruises. So I'm looking for the longer group cruises, 8, 9, 10-day group cruises than the 7-day group cruises.
Right.
Unless you're doing some kind of exotic port like the Southern Caribbean.
Right.
All the other ports, again, they're like all the same to me. So, I mean, no, it's just getting crazy.
It's getting crazy. And a lot of people are doing 5-day group cruises too, to keep it, cost effective for a lot of people, a lot of families, things like that. So I'm seeing a lot of content creators come out with group cruises in the 5-day range. So
Keisha says Carnival needs to create a cherry on top package. M&Ms and gummy bears are a must.
Keone would like that. He asked me if
I was about to have on my cruise. Oh no, she said gummies. She didn't say gummy bears. She said gummies.
I'm gonna come off with some pounds.
Got a sweet tooth for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. I mean, I gotta admit, they have all the desserts just out there for you all the time on a cruise. It's I don't know. I eat more vegetables. I eat better on a cruise, but I still eat my fair share. Mona sifting some, and we're getting way so far off subject. Mona, she was on the cruise and she had the watermelon, and she like grows her own. She's a gardener. I mean, she's a lot of things, knitter, a crocheter, and all, but she's a lot of things. And she had some watermelon, and which I thought was pretty good. She didn't like it, but it was one of those modified ones because it's seedless. And she said that's not real watermelon. It's how that's not real watermelon. So I felt bad. But she said, I called her a foodie or something. And then she said the cantaloupe and all the other stuff was good. But no, she taught me a lot on this cruise.
I bet her watermelon. Oh, a homegrown watermelon? Forget about it.
So, okay, we'll get back on topic real quick. Let's see, where were we at?
I think our first time cruisers, and I was just kind of saying that the 4-day cruise, while I don't think any cruise is a bad decision, a 4-day cruise is just going to bring a lot more of those first time cruisers. So I'm expecting to see, and I've already seen in the group, I've been very active in the group. I reminded myself that there is a Facebook group outside of YouTube, but a Facebook group linked up to most of the Carnival cruises, or most cruises in general. So I've been very active in there, and I could not believe the amount of first-time cruisers in there with all different kinds of questions, from packing to what can you bring on the ship, to what can you bring to port, to how early should I be there, should I come in the next day. I mean, there were so many questions, and I probably took an hour and a half to just sit in there and just try my best to answer everybody's questions without judgment.
Right.
So,
and you know what? And I just didn't realize that, because people would ask me questions, and I didn't realize how many some of the things that I just take for granted, and I just know it. Yeah, you can bring a power strip as long as no surge protection. Duh. But again, I mean, a lot of people don't know that, and it's like, it's just strange hearing some of the questions, what they ask, you know.
Yeah.
Can I bring my
I just
machete
try
on
to
board?
think-
No, you can't.
Yeah. I just try to think of, I try to put myself in their shoes, and I try to put myself back into being a first-time cruiser when I'm answering those things, because again, there's so many questions, like for you and I, we wouldn't even think about them. It'd be like, well, yeah, duh. But to somebody who's never cruised before, they don't know. They don't know. And there's going to be a lot of them on this cruise. So
On deck with CB. Welcome in. Driving and listening. Thank you
CB?
for listening. Join our group of 2 for 31. I wish I could. I'm not getting a good deal. They want me to pay like full price. It would be like $7,000 for me to go on that cruise. I would love it. It's going to Japan and Guam and Alaska. And I mean, it's gone everywhere. No, do they stop going to Alaska? I don't know. Somebody did. But anyway, it's a great cruise.
No $100 room for you, Bill?
No $100 room. Can you believe it? On deck with CB. Yes, we have group space in March. The prices are super good, but we are having a hard time moving them. Cruise rates are amazing. Plane tickets are horrible.
Or horrible.
They're amazing if you get the tickets early for a cruise. But as you get closer, you used to get, as I said, wait till the last minute and get better deals. Prices, they have the matching price, and they would drop the price down, and I get some onboard credit. No, that's all that is going away.
Gone. They want you to book it further out. They want you to be into 2026, 2027 because they want that deposit money. All these cruise companies, right? The more you put down the cruise deposits, the more they know that you're going to cruise with them again, or you have a final payment to pay because you just put down a cruise deposit. So,
well, I mean, again, I don't know. To me, if you're taking like a first timer, but anybody, I understand. If I could drive to a cruise port, if I lived down in Florida and could drive to a cruise port, I would book cruises so far out and get the best price I could possibly get and always be gone. Because I hear all the time that it's, I can't get comfortable on the ship in 3 or 4 days. I don't know the ship yet. It doesn't take that long. It's a Carnival ship. They all look alike. Pretty much. So it doesn't take that long. Yeah. But I would love to do it. I would love to do it. I mean, it's less of a commitment. You don't have to worry about planning a whole lot out. I mean, again, you're just going to one port and staying on the ship. It's like, it couldn't be any easier.
I've always had to fly to my cruise ports. I don't think I've ever driven to an actual port. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Once we went on the Norwegian Dawn out of New York, and we went to do the whole Bermuda Triangle thing. I don't really remember. I was kind of like 14, but that's the only cruise port I have ever driven to in my life. Every other cruise port has been flying, and I've already known it. So there was no thinking, should I drive? Should I? No, it was already flying. So, and I already tell everybody that I'm going to bring or is going to come with me. Hey, we're going to have to probably get a hotel and get a, flight to Texas or Florida or New Orleans or Galveston. I've never been out of Galveston yet, but so always. And I know that drives up the price, and I know I've had people in the past that have said, well, it's kind of out of my price range now. And you know what? I understand that, but it's just always been, I guess, ingrained in my brain that I would be flying to, cruise ports because I've lived in New York and now I live in Arizona. So the only cruise port for me was really, well, I mean, I guess I could have gotten the car and gone to Baltimore or Virginia, but I don't know. I'm not really a big driver, so flying's just better for me. I don't know.
It is. I mean, and again, as I said, I fly all the time, but again, it adds a great expense to the trip.
It does.
Marjorie was saying that she's like me. You have to pay double. Yeah, every time I go on a cruise, I have to pay twice. So if it's $800 a person, I'm paying $1,600.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily for me, I'm taking the airfare out the equation, so it's a little cheaper for me.
I want to know what everybody prefers as far as cruise length too. I know as Bill's going through the chat, but what is everybody's favorite? If you could choose, money is not an option, and I know Bill's going to be like, live on a cruise ship, but within reason, what is your favorite cruise duration to take? So,
see, for me, that's a good question.
Oh, here we go.
For me, the sweet spot probably would be about a 14-day cruise, because you can hit some exotic places from the States in 14 days and make it back without being rushed. So 14 days would be a sweet spot for me. A back-to-back, 2 back-to-backs. If you do like the Eastern Caribbean and the Western Caribbean, when I did Mardi Gras, that's what we did. It was Eastern one week, and then the Western. So you hit all different ports except for Nassau.
That would be kind of cool, actually. Tell you the truth, I didn't even think about that. I would probably say I've actually never done this one, but I know it does exist. But I think the perfect duration for myself would be somewhere in between a 5-day and a 7-day, so a 6-day. And I've never done a 6-day, but I think if I were to do it, I think it would be perfect. I would have like just enough. I would like be ready to want to go home, but also just have had enough fun. So yeah, I don't know. 5 just doesn't seem enough. 7's like, probably could have went home this morning. Like, so.
Down Under Cruisers, welcome in, Sean. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. I think I met you earlier.
Flying is sort of fun.
See, I enjoy flying, but I don't overpack either. But you do, like, when you come up with these group cruises. I mean, some of the people that hosted this thing, they had like gift bags and goodies and papers and I mean all kind of stuff for everybody. So they're bringing 2 and 3 suitcases. Lord knows how much money they actually spent to get all those bags down there, that we could have a good time. Yep. So no, I mean, my goodness. But again, I don't overpack, so it's good for me. Scrolls, Scott, I sent you the cruise info to your page and the social site that starts with the letter.
Yes, I just saw that pop up, Brandy. Thank you.
Lisa, 10 to 14 days. I'm with you with that one. Marjorie says, Warmstrong, we should be cruise roommates. You never know. You never know. Clock says, I want 14.
14. Have you ever done a 14-day clock?
He has a type of job. I think he's a little flexible, so that if he could get the time off, I think he would enjoy it too. I really think he would. Panama Canal cruise is on my list. Yep. But see, when you start talking about cruises like that, I mean, unless you're flying something, and you're looking at a 14-day cruise.
Yeah.
Eddie says 14 days.
Wow, we got a lot of longer cruisers here. A lot of longer cruisers.
Price wise, to me it's better. I mean, if you go for a long cruise, it drops the price down per day. Rayleigh says we did a 6-day on a celebration last November.
See, I think that'd be perfect for me. I want to try it out. I will try it out probably in 2025.
If we didn't have journeys with June and Brady, if we didn't have pups or family and friends to take care of them, I'd go 10 days and over trips. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They just did a 10-day Venezia too, so I know that was pretty hard for them to get somebody to watch the pups, but they did a 10-day, and they thoroughly enjoyed it, loved it. 5
weeks back from 31 days and doing a 7. I won't want to get on one again. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you will. Oh yeah.
Who did I miss? Oh, Cruising Scene. Welcome in, Cruising Scene.
Hey,
appreciate you being here. Emily, welcome in. Thanks for being here.
Hello, Em.
And if you guys have not hit the thumb button, please hit the thumb button and like the page. We appreciate it. On deck with CB is throwing out some dates for clock.
March 23rd goes on my birthday.
Emily wants to know, can she suggest a 4th option to your poll? Emily, feel free.
Something like, not sure, should I try them? Somewhere along those lines. Yeah, I like it. And that's kind of what I was saying maybe before you came in. You know, I'm using 4-day cruises now, and I know the title of this is 4-day cruise is a bad decision, but I think 4-day cruises are very intentional. I'm taking one of my really good friends on his very first cruise, and again, a longer cruise for somebody who has never cruised before is a little bit bigger of a commitment. So I thought that this was a perfect shoe for his first cruise, a little toe dipper. We're going straight from New Orleans right to Cozumel and right back. The ship is going to go super, super slow. It was somewhat cost efficient after I sold him on the New Orleans port. And you know, it's going to be a really good time, and he's in need of some party. So I mean, 4-day cruise, we got a lot of party.
Hey, well, make sure you take him out tonight, and you show him a little partying on Bourbon Street.
Oh, that's for
and
sure.
he can get the party started early. Destination fun on the Glory. There was a dog on the ship. It was a big size dog. I mean, 50 pounds. He was a big dog, and he didn't have like a service vest on. I don't know what the dog was. I'm sure they don't allow what do they call them? Not the comfort animals. What do they call those animals?
Oh
Service?
no, emotional support.
Emotional support. So they don't allow those. But I didn't see. Normally they have a vest on for service support, and he didn't have one on. So I don't know what was going on with that one.
He wasn't a sniffy sniff dog, right?
No. This is a passenger.
Oh.
No. Yeah, no, it wasn't that one.
Interesting. They should let you bring dogs on a cruise. That would be kind of cool. Pet-friendly cruises. Huh.
Well, Betty says no. Some people are not going to clean up after their pooch.
Yeah, you're probably going to have that. Yeah. Some people don't clean up after themselves, so they didn't clean up after their dog. That's true.
Well, Blaine is on a roll. I thought Danny usually goes with you. Wow.
He's on a roll.
Wow, he's on a roll.
Oh, Blaine. Oh, man.
Emily says, I did not say they're good or bad. No, we understood what you said, Emily.
Oh, yeah.
On whether or not you should even do it. On deck, sniffing dogs, Bill? No, this was not. No, this was a passenger with a dog walking around. Not on the ship, not sniffing people, not in uniform. No, this is just a passenger with a dog. So, okay, down to the bottom.
Down to the bottom. I think we're also down to the bottom, Bill. What do I have? Oh yeah, because you answered. I mean, the only thing that I have left on our little write-up is asking you the back in the day with Bill question. Back in the day with Bill W. Excuse me.
Yeah, let me stop you for 1 second, Scott. Somebody came up to me on this trip and was asking me about meeting. Bill, you have a meeting coming up. You're hosting a meeting. I said, I'm not hosting a meeting. What are you talking about? You know, it's in the schedule for on Carnival Hub. You're hosting a meeting. What are you talking about? And Bill, you're Bill W. So somebody thought the Bill W was me. So people, for those of you that haven't cruised or don't cruise a lot, even people that cruise a lot don't know this. There's 2 groups on there. They have a AA group, Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous on the group. One is called Bill W, Friends of Bill W. And then there's one called Friends of Jimmy K.
Yep.
So you get those 2 groups, but because you could always say back in the day with Bill W, I don't know whether I don't know if maybe they did know and just think I was an alcoholic, or I was just leading the what's the name? But it was funny. I thought it was funny. I didn't take it personal.
I wonder if anybody showed up and was like, "Oh, hey, Warmstrong is leading a chat today."
Where
at 3 o'clock. I was like, "Uh-oh."
And again, they might have been joking when they said it. I don't know, but they didn't start laughing about it because I thought it was funny.
It is funny.
So, anywho, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What was the Bill W question of the week?
Back in the day, with Bill W. question was, how long was your first cruise? And that goes for everybody in the chat too. Your very first cruise, and I know maybe some of you can't remember that far back, but your very first cruise, how many days was it?
It was 7 days. And just like everybody on here, The first day and a half, I was miserable. We started leaving out, and I got seasick, but I didn't know what seasickness was. So I got seasick, and I think the first day we stopped in Nassau, and I got off the ship and I felt better. I'm like, oh, it must have been like a 24-hour bug or whatever. It's nothing. As soon as I stepped back on the ship, even though we were still in the port, I started feeling nauseous again. It's like, what's wrong with me? So the next day I wake up and I'm feeling terrible. It's like, I can't do this. And I was with my wife at the time, and I'm like, you can stay on here. I can't do this. I'm gonna fly. Our next port, I'm flying home. I can't do this. And I went down to guest services, and they said, here, no, try these. And they gave me some like Dramamine. I don't know what it was, but it was like Dramamine. And I started popping them like candy, and I haven't had a problem since.
So do you take them with you on your cruises now?
I take them with me. I haven't taken them in a long time, but I do take Dramamine with me on every cruise. And, I try to take like, cough drops, cough medicine, Pepto-Bismol. I try to take that with me because you just never know.
Right. So 7 days. That's interesting. Interesting.
But again, that's why I always tell people 3 or 4 day cruise, you can find out whether or not you like it or not.
Yes, definitely find out. My first cruise was not a 4-day cruise. It was actually a longer cruise. So I will answer this in 2 parts. The first part was my very, very first cruise on the SS Seabreeze, which is no longer in service, part of the Dolphin line. That was actually a 7-day cruise. I was 4 years old. I think just about 3 years old, give or take, and it was a cartoon style cruise. So if any of you remember what Hanna-Barbera for Cartoon Network was, there was a lot of Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters dressed up all around the ship, and we spent 7 days there, and I went to the kids club and all that. That was my very first cruise, 7 days. I don't really remember too much of it. Apparently, my mom said I was very scared by all of the masks and all of the cartoon characters that were there. So she said she thought it was sort of a waste. I don't know. My dad said they had a great time, so I don't really know. But the second answer to that part is I will answer after I was 21 and started cruising by myself or cruising with friends and not my parents. That was a 5-day cruise on the Carnival Imagination, and that was a very, very party front atmosphere for sure. That was out of Miami. That is where I also met my best friend who works on Carnival now, and we continued to cruise together. My buddy that I took on that cruise now has a kid and has his own family. So not that we don't cruise together, but we just don't have the schedules really don't align too well anymore. But yeah, my first cruise was a 7-day, and then when I was of age, now a 5-day. So,
and people were answering. Globies Travels was 5. Will G was 5.
Enchantment of the Seas.
Journey and Journeys with June and Brady 4 days. Blaine, he went on Enchantment of the Seas. I've only been on one Royal Caribbean ship, and it was Enchantment of the Seas. And it's an older ship, but I enjoyed it. Scrolls, I said 7 days. Journey Seas, I was so sick on our first, we didn't go back for 10 years. I felt the same way until they gave me that Dramamine. I was ready to call it quits. Like 2.5 days into the trip, I was ready to fly home because I couldn't do it.
Interesting. Looks like Aunt June might be the only one that started off with a 4-day cruise. I mean, I know they weren't very popular, back when we started cruising, Bill. I mean, they were in existence, but I don't think anybody was really going on 4-day cruises back then. It was, I remember a lot of mine when I was younger, when I went with my parents, they were all 7 days or 8 days, or 5 days was the shortest at minimum. So,
I mean, now I prefer longer cruises. The cruise on the 19th is an 8-day cruise, but it leaves out of New York. So I mean, it's going to be 2 days to get down. And our first port, guess where our first port is?
Bermuda?
No.
Miami.
Exactly. Miami. But luckily, I think Destination Fun is leaving out like the next day, so I think Destination Fun is going to be down there. So I might be able to get to meet her and Danny down there. Clock is on the cruise too, so I might be able to get them if Clock is feeling better. Hopefully, Clock is feeling better.
Yes.
I might be able to get to meet them, and I think that's like a Wednesday maybe. So that's the day we go live. So I'm not really getting off the ship. I'm gonna get off the ship to meet Sherry and Danny, but then come back and be back on time to do our live. So
Okay.
We should miss it.
Wow. That's kind of, I mean, I think it's cool in the aspect that you can go down and meet them just because it works in your schedule. But Miami, that's such a weird port stop for a
Where
ship
does it
that
stop
leaves
at?
out of New York.
Where's the port for MSC? Where do they port in Miami? Because I've never seen them like in the port where the Carnival ships are. I've never seen it. I don't think. Have I seen an MSC ship there?
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, that's one of the ports.
And most of us have been to Miami, so I mean, like, it's. I'm not going to get off the ship. I mean, like,
If
I'm not better.
Scott, we're coming out to the witching hour. So what else do you have up? I know you're cruising all week. Are you going to go live at all, what are you going to do? What's your schedule like?
So my schedule, let's see. So tomorrow we do not have a Thirsty Thursday travel and cruise trivia. I am sorry for everybody that has been so faithful and loyal to coming every Thursday, but we will be back next Thursday after I am back. We figured we would test you guys and see how much you really miss us, and give it a week breather, put some brainstorm together and some really good cahoots together, some really good prizes together for you guys. I know I'm going to bring back a few prizes from the Carnival Valor, some mystery prizes. So that will be in 2 weeks. This week, I do plan to go live. I do have a live cover made for live from the Valor, but we'll see if the Wi-Fi is good enough and I can find a spot that doesn't have a lot of music, and if my room is good enough Wi-Fi for me to go live, and then I'll definitely keep you guys in tune with kind of what's going on in the cruise. And then I will also be having vlogs, but that's going to be coming out after I come back. So, but yeah, that's all I have this week.
Cool. I am actually. I'm so happy. I actually have some footage, so I can actually try to put vlogs together. For me this week, tomorrow I do Banter with Bill at 5 p.m. I'm going to be talking about my experience on the booze cruise, which I truly enjoyed. So I'm going to knock the mystery off right now. Yes, I enjoyed it. And then Friday, I have a video coming out. I believe the video Friday will be about my first night down on Bourbon Street. First night in New Orleans, so it'll be that one. And then Monday, I have one out about the hotel in at 5 p.m. I'm having a premiere, I think, for the hotel Monday, Holiday Inn West Bank. And then we're back to Wednesday doing this show, and Thursday Banter with Bill.
That's right.
I have some other videos coming out, but I haven't finished them yet, so I don't know exactly when they're coming out.
I can't wait to see all the vlogs continually to come out from this booze cruise. I'm still watching some from the non too, but I can't wait for yours to come out and Sherry's to come out. So it's gonna be watching. Be catching up all week.
It is. And I'm trying to do that too. So I'm watching videos, and watching YouTube lives and videos, but I'm not commenting because I'm just watching them while I try to catch up on other things that I'm trying to do, because I spent all last night just doing voiceovers and trying to put together some videos so I can actually have something to put out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's about it. Everybody who's not feeling well, please start feeling better.
Yes.
If you're going on a cruise, make sure you take care of yourself. Practice, safety. If you need to put a mask on, put a mask on. So just practice safety.
Wash those hands tons of times a day.
And with that, I think we are going to get out of here.
Yeah.
Let me load this up real quick. The outro. Everybody, have a good rest of your night, and we will talk to you soon. Check on me tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Banter with Bill.
We'll see you guys.
As always, stay strong and embrace the journey. Good night.
Bye, guys.